Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we're going to be focusing on the southeastern region. But before we get into that, let's take a look at the headlines making national news. 12 dead bodies of victims of the Jos school building collapse have been deposited at 3 mortuaries in Jos, while 77 persons are receiving treatment at various hospitals, as the hospitals are in dire need of blood to stabilize the injured. Channels Television checked indicated that 4 corpses were deposited at Our Lady of Apostles Hospital mortuary, with 27 receiving treatment, while at the Birmingham Hospital 7 corpses are at the morgue, with 16 receiving treatment and 1 death recorded at Plateau Specialist Hospital, where 34 were receiving treatment, with 2 of the victims having spinal cord injuries. As part of the ongoing rescue operation, the Joint Security Task Force Operation Safe Haven has mobilized 5 Hilux vehicles and 30 troops to complement the rescue operation. Excavators and volunteers alongside security personnel and members of the Red Cross are still rescuing trapped students under the rubble. The Nigerian Immigration Service has successfully apprehended a human trafficking suspect and rescued 4 young girls in Kebbi State. The girls, en route to Senegal via the Benin Republic border, were intercepted in Bagudu, a border town, through intelligence gathering and subsequent interrogation, leading to the arrest of one Shuaibu Salihu Mungadi, their alleged agent. Comptroller of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Kebbi State Command Seidu Bashir Daura, warned parents to be vigilant when entrusting their children to others, emphasizing the service's commitment to combating human trafficking. President Bola Tinubu has congratulated Nigeria's literary and global icon, Professor Wole Soyinka, famously known as Wole Soyinka, on his 90th birthday. In a statement by his special advisor on media, Ajuri Ngelale, President Tinubu described Professor Soyinka as one of the finest minds of his generation, conforming to the highest standards of human enlightenment, but unyielding to injustice, oppression, and base impulses. The president commended Professor Soyinka for his valiant efforts in the trenches for the nation's future, both as a pro-democracy champion and a retrenchment voice against corruption and maladministration over several decades. He also announced the decision of the federal government to rename the National Theatre in Igomu, Surulere as the Wole Soyinka Center for Culture and the Creative Arts, and wishes Professor Soyinka many more years in good health and creative fulfillment as a global force for change. The Imo State Governor, Mr. Hope Uzodimma, says curbing and tackling the menace of cultism in higher institutions will go a long way to fight insecurity in the country. The governor was speaking at the government house in Owerri, the Imo State capital, when he received members of the Governing Council of the Federal Polytechnic Nekede, Owerri. According to the governor, preliminary investigation has revealed that those perpetrating crime in the society are linked to cultism activities, especially in higher institutions. He charges the governing board to enthrone discipline and proper behavior in the students so as to achieve a peaceful society.
The issue of insecurity has become a widespread anomaly that is also confronting the government. And we think that despite the kinetic approach of government, that we can begin to also reduce the pace of spread by ensuring that cultism in our institutions are reduced and students are properly guided and directed before they are brought to the society to begin to do their businesses. A reasonable percentage of those behind a crime or involved in the crime in Imo State are mostly students belonging to one court or the other. So the council is therefore expected to show more interest on the issue of discipline and behavior among students, particularly in the school community. And the teachers and leaders of the institutions should also learn how to work together, reduce frictions, create signage that will be a kind of thing that the students will emulate coming out to the society. And they also manage the affairs of the institution for collective interest. Very, very important. I urge you to buy into the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, where he is determined to fight the issue of hunger, insecurity, and also prosperity. So contribute your own quota from wherever you have seen yourselves.
Meanwhile, the chairman of the Governing Council of Federal Polytechnic, Mr. Henry Iko, promises that the Governing Council will collaborate with the state government to take the institution to an enviable position in line with the renewed hope agenda of the Bola Tinubu-led federal government.
We came here for your blessing. We came to solicit for your support. We came here for synergy to assure His Excellency that we, the members of this board, we are ready to work with the state government, heavily led by you, to draw our strength. Based on what you have been doing in this great country, we believe if we work with you, if we synergize with you, you will be able to help us in making sure that the much talked about dividend of democracy, using the Polytechnic as a hub, the middle class will be realized. The problem we have in this country is that there is no middle class. Polytechnic, we have decided, starting from Federal Polytechnic, naked, that all our students, all of them going out of the school must have a trade before we graduate them. There is no middle class in this country. So from what you have been doing, what you represent, we believe that we are duty-bound to come and take the blessing, tap from your wealth of experience, so that this university can move from the present position to an enviable position.
Cheering news for the people of Imo State, as the state government assures that the issue of epileptic power supply will soon become a thing of the past. This is according to the Imo State Commissioner for Power and Electrification, Mwabweze Oguchinti, who disclosed this during the issuance of interim license to Urashi Electricity Distribution Company Limited by the Imo State Electricity Regulatory Commission. Our correspondent, Eyitokwe Kute, has the details.
Limitations to issue of licensing as contained in the order that was given to us by NEC. Based on that, we felt that since we are not ready as a commission to have done all we're supposed to do within the allowable 6 months, we found right a window in the law that allows us or gives us the permission for us to give what is known as interim license, which ideally has no difference with the license, but rather it is only the issue of not having a full tenure. And the essence of that tenure is just to allow us to come up with our processes and our guidelines in terms of tariff methodology, in terms of process, and all that will require to regulate the electricity market in Imo State.
We as Urash, we are ready to give him all the support that is required. Our mandate is to generate, transmit, and distribute electricity in the state. And this mandate, we already have a master plan to ensure that this mandate is executed to the letter. And today's event, which is the presentation of this license, is a very important milestone in our master plan.
The government of Imo State has since commenced with the process of taking over the electricity market in Imo State. All of this started with the constitutional amendment last year, Electricity Act of 2023, which now gives the states powers to manage the power sector in the state. His Excellency our Governor commenced immediately ensuring that the necessary legal framework was put in place. Because in the beginning and thereafter, we also had to constitute the Regulatory Commission, what we call the most states Regulatory Commission.
The Ebonyi state government has launched an integrated revenue management system to streamline tax and revenue collection processes with the aim to automate end-to-end revenue management within the state. The official launch took place at the Old Cabinet Office, Government House in Abakaliki, the Ebonyi state capital.
The Ebonyi State Internal Revenue Service has launched an integrated revenue management system. The system aims to automate end-to-end revenue management within the state. According to the State Revenue Service, the system has been opened for customers, starting with profiling and enumeration, which will bring people into the tax net and ensure assessments are done and appropriate revenues collected. The services will also offer a social benefit security card, which allows the service to issue customized cards for all citizens and residents registered with Ebonyi State Internal Revenue Service.
Ebonyi State Social Benefit Security Card Scheme. This allows us to issue customized cards for all citizens and residents registered with the service. A card which enables citizens enjoy social benefits from the state. We also issue other cards, including vehicle registration.
The introduction of an integrated revenue management system has the potential of significantly reducing, if not eliminating, the reliance on revenue contractors and curb corruption in the revenue collection process.
Currently, the system we run is that we seek the intervention and help of so many contractors to help us drive and generate revenue. But we are putting the system, which means the system is going to take over those assets for contractors to help. We intend to end the assistance of contractors in use.
Meanwhile, to increase tax compliance, the State Revenue Service says it's embarking on effective tax education across the 13 local government areas of the state to create awareness on the newly introduced tax system.
We have been going from local government to educate our taxpayers. We have covered 6 local governments as we speak. Out of the 13 local governments, we have covered 6. So these are the modalities we have taken. After this launching of this new automation, there is a plan for road works, street sensitization. We will produce flyers, jingles, and all not what, so as to educate the commoners, the common masses on the new tax regime.
With the launch of this integrated revenue management system, Ebonyi State's Internal Revenue Service tends to achieve 79.9 billion naira per year.
In line with Professor Chukwuma Soludo's Clean, Green and Sustainable Environment Initiative through tree planting, the acting Vice-Chancellor of the State University, Chukwu Emeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Professor Kate Odumoga, has held the staff and students of the university to join the campaign. Creating public awareness for climate change and need for tree planting, the university management organizes a massive road show in Oka, the Anambra state capital, which is also part of activities to herald the first climate change summit the university will host in a few days. The road show is tagged Public Awareness for Climate Change and Need for Tree Planting, and the acting Vice-Chancellor appreciates Governor Chukwuma Soludo's zeal and commitment towards addressing the issue of climate change, to which the university has borrowed a leaf, adding that the institution will next week unveil their 5-year roadmap for the planting of 1 million trees from 2024 to 2029. The chairman of the Tree Planting Climate Action Change Committee, Professor Kingsley Nwozo, lists the various problems the tree planting initiative will solve, both for the university and the state at large.
I must tell you that we have made a statement to the world that Chukwuemeka Odumegwu University that is conscious of the environment. I mean, what is environment if there are no economics there? And we want to be able to make this university benefit, from all these actions we are taking. The environment is ours, and Chukwuemeka Odumegwu must, and I repeat, must key into the vision of the government of Anambra State to plant trees, to take back our environment. And we say, one student, one tree, one staff, one tree.
The next problem we are trying to solve is the problem of extreme winds. The winds on campus are too heavy. Because of that, because the university is utterly bare, it is empty, no trees. So because of that, the infrastructure, the buildings are suffering. You see wind blowing off roofs of buildings. So we are planting trees that will stand as windbreakers, so that as the extreme winds are coming, these trees can wedge it.
While the administration of Professor Chukwuma Soludo insists on enthroning peace in the 179 communities in Anambra State in the face of myriads of communal issues, there seems to be a heavy unrest in Nteje community over the traditional stool. The demise of His Royal Majesty Igwe Roland Odegbo of Ikenga Nteje has stirred up a heavy controversy over the rightful quarter to produce the next traditional ruler. While Ikenga quarter insists on taking another shot, Ifite quarter decries the seeming injustice, maintaining that it is their turn as the kingship is rotational. Anambra State government, however, calls for calm and requests a cordial meeting to resolve the issue amicably.
Nteje community is the headquarters of Oyi local government area of Anambra State, an agrarian community in Anambra North Senatorial Zone. The people are known for cassava cultivation and the production of gari, among other fruits and vegetables that they grow. Despite their productive nature, the people of Nteje face many challenges, the latest being the issue of kingship tussle, to which the people of Ifite quarters insist that it's their turn to produce the next traditional ruler. A meeting of the sons and daughters of Ifite quarters is summoned to appeal to the state government to allow them to take what they believe is their right.
In our tradition and in our constitution, the community has a town union constitution. And in that town union constitution, it is written boldly and categorically, rotational.
The traditional ruler from Ezi Nteje, late Igwe Nemeka, ruled for 35 years. Then the late Igwe Roland Odegbo from Ikenga ruled for about 12 years, albeit amidst a legal battle with his co-contender from the same Ikenga, who, having lost out, went to court. From the High Court, the issue progressed to the Appeal Court. Then the late Igwe Odegbo was ordered to stop parading himself as the traditional ruler. Sadly, the matter was still at the Supreme Court when he died. Unfortunately, his rule was invalidated and his challenger asked to replace him as the rightful ruler from Ikenga. But the people of Ifite in Nteje quarters believe it's their right to take up the title due to the rotation principle that was already in place.
Now it's the turn of Ifite and the matter becomes a contest again. Money begins to get involved as interested parties give out money. I announced to the world that it is the turn of Ifite to produce the king. So when everybody goes home, tell your family, tell your kindred and the entire family that Igwe Nteje is for Ifite quarter. Anybody dragging the stool is only making an effort in futility. Igwe Odegbo contested with others from the Ikenga quarter and he emerged victorious. He reigned and died, and it comes to the turn of Ifite. But same Ikenga people that had Igwe Odegbo from their quarter returned to insist that the contender that was in court with late Igwe would take over.
Even the women feel shortchanged in this matter and pledge their solidarity to their menfolk, asking them to be united in the fight. Some of the stakeholders call on the governor to intervene.
We are calling on the governor, Mr. Governor, to come and help us and look into this matter, because I believe the leadership of Nteje is situational.
Professor Charles Oludo, who is the executive governor, closes his ears and eyes to say that he doesn't want to know what is happening in Nteje. If otherwise goes on, it will bring chaos in Nteje as a whole, and it will not be in the interest of Nteje. So I'm calling on him to intervene.
For the state government, it's a sensitive issue that must be resolved peacefully.
The government has no interest in any particular community. The only interest the government has is to bring peace. So from the way it is, the government has no interest. We are going to follow it the right way to the letter. And that is why I am taking the solution to the grassroots. And that is why this government made that sacrifice to the grassroots. Because most people in the village don't even understand what the rulings are. They don't even know what is the effect of the ruling. Because if those rulings were to have obeyed by people, then by now we won't be here.
8 aspirants have been screened for the position, and the election would have held in April if not for the death of the brother of one of the aspirants. They remain resolute in their quest of producing the next traditional ruler of Nteje.
The Abia State Governor, Dr. Alex Oti, has officially launched the disbursement of the 1 billion naira interest-free loan for 10,000 beneficiaries under the state's cooperative support scheme for nano and micro business operators, drawn from the 184 electoral wards of the state. Speaking during the inauguration exercise in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, Dr. Alex Oti said the scheme, which aimed at empowering women and young entrepreneurs, is strategic to the economic emancipation of small businesses owners, especially the rural dwellers.
Beneficiary of this scheme completed a personal information data form and a verifiable address. There will be a periodic assessment of the performance of some of them to enable the government to determine the impact of this program and its sustainability. The whole idea of this program is aimed at creating consciousness at the grassroots level. You must count yourselves very lucky. I now speak from business community where I belong. I want to tell you what I know. Getting 100,000 naira is not easy anywhere.
We are particularly grateful to our governor, the father of our state, our Ebonyi governor, a man who keeps to his words, His Excellency Dr. Alex Oti, for keeping to his campaign promise.
Governor Oti, who acknowledges the industrious spirit of an average Abia resident, says it is instructive to note that 70% of the beneficiaries in this present batch are women and young people who have shown great industry by doing so much with very little resources.
Programs like this have worked successfully in more than 60 countries across the world over the last 50 years, including Bangladesh, that the Honorable Commissioner mentioned, Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. It then follows that we can effectively replicate the success of the community-oriented microcredit scheme in our own dear state of Abia. The use of community-based cooperative societies for the disbursement of these loans is very strategic for effective ownership and control of the scheme. Members are expected to have it at the back of their minds that when an individual deliberately defaults in repaying what has been borrowed, the resource pool is depleted and the chances of other members benefiting become slimmer.
Thank you very much for joining us on Newsroom Series. That's where we draw the curtain. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Enjoy the rest of your day.